On this day in 1977, Dave Kingman hit his first home run for the Yankees, becoming the first player in Major League history to have a home run for 4 different teams in 1 year. My question to you, Don, is can you name the other 3 teams?
Well, I do know that he, so in 76, he was a Met.
Yep.
I could have gotten that
Cub.
one.
He was a Cub 2 different stints. I believe that was one of the stints. He played.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, because I know he played for the Padres.
Very good.
He came up with the Giants.
Well, we're just talking about 77.
Right. So it's Mets, Padres, Yankees.
Had 9 with the Mets, 11 with the Padres, 4 with the Yanks, and 2 with the last team.
And I would. Angels?
Yes. Oh man.
It's amazing my taste in favorite athletes. My favorite football player, my favorite athlete of all time, not even close, is Lawrence Taylor. Not a great human being. Great football player. And my favorite baseball player growing up, Michael, and it wasn't close, was Dave Kingman.
And not supposedly a great guy.
And that's really bad guy.
Yeah.
Really?
And I think I told you the story. I got in trouble for it. I got in trouble a lot here.
It's amazing you survived.
It was a Saturday show. It really is, and I think when it's all said and done, it's probably because of Michael. Michael will never admit it because he's a good guy. I'm sure there have been multiple times he's like, we're going to let Don go, and Michael said, well, over my dead body, and they re-up.
I could tell you not multiple, but there was once.
No, but
we know about that.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah.
But I did a Saturday show, and all of a sudden we started getting phone calls, and I started talking about Dave Kingman, and then I get a call saying, stop talking about Dave Kingman. Probably because our PD at the time, Kevin Graham, had no idea who Dave Kingman was. So my brother was producing the show. He got in touch with Kingman, living in Vegas. Said, we're talking about you on the show. Would you like to come on? And he hung up on my brother.
There we go. Dave.
He sent the rat to a female reporter.
Yeah, he sent a rat in a shoebox.
But being a Met fan in the 70s, Michael, you couldn't root for them to actually be competitive. The only thing I could root for is for him to win the National League home run race. It was always between him and Mike Schmidt. The guy can hit a home run. And
he'd be a star now.
He'd be an absolute star getting paid a fortune. Peter, he was perfect in the analytic world. At least offensively, he was a butcher defensively. But he struck out all the time. And back in that day, that was embarrassing.
Not now.
Now they love it.
But Peter, he could hit bombs. I mean, he was, you remember him, Michael, right? I mean, he was, young kid, Dave Kingman, great name, hitting home runs. One of the only reasons I watched the Mets, and I'd watch every Met game, didn't matter, win or lose, out of it. Him and John Stearns were my favorite players growing up. But what is it, Michael? Then these are not great people off the field. I think Kingman never got in any trouble.
It's a window into your soul.
I think it's just bad timing. I don't think it has any. It's just a coincidence, right? I'm a good person. I'm a good judge of character.
Maybe.
See, it's little things like, so I'm not a good person. I'm a bad guy. So why did you save my job? Why?
I think you're tremendous talent.
Why didn't you say let him go?
Tremendous talent.
Yeah, it was selfish. It was for his own show.
We're in a really good place right now.
Yeah, me and you.
Why don't you tell the story? Never told me. So for the air, the circumstances in which you saved my job.
Well, I mean, they used to do, people up in the gilded offices of ESPN had opinions about everything. And they didn't like Don.
Didn't like me.
They didn't think he was good.
No good.
So someone came to me, I'm not going to say who, and they go, the people upstairs, they want to take Don off the show, and that would essentially mean Don would be gone. I said, okay.
Why?
I said, if you do that, I'm out. They go, and he said, what do you mean? I said, I'll quit. I'm not doing the show without him. So that kind of slowed them down. And then, because they're all phonies, what they did was they did, what do they call it? An audience.
Focus group?
A focus group. Where people are pulling dials and everything when somebody and Don went through the roof. The focus group loved him. Then, like scurrying rats back onto a ship, they couldn't like Don enough. So I didn't have to save him anymore after that.
And I appreciate that, Michael. And the funny thing, the people that you're talking about, and they're all gone now. They're still with us, but not with the company. Peter, they would say to me, Don, you've come a long way, man. The reason we love you now is that you really listened to us and you changed and you finally did it the way that it was supposed to be done. That's why we love you. Dirty little secret, I never changed a thing.
You didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything different. You were with me all that time, Michael. Am I any different than I was back in the day?
You're the same exact talent you were the first day you
Yet
stepped
they,
in here.
for some reason, decided you changed.
Well, my late agent, who I loved, and I'll never get an agent like him again.
Well, you don't get any agent.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll keep the 10% for myself. But that way I could pay the 20% service fee at the restaurant. He once told me, he said, whenever executives tell you what to do, just say, yeah, you're right. Don't do it, and they'll think you did. Couldn't be more right. Couldn't be more right.
At least in that case. That way, Don. Look at you.
Good Don.
I just do it. I only can do it one way. The only way I know how.
Just being you.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right? But I appreciate you, Michael.
You don't have to. As Peter said, it was a selfish move on my part.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I was trying to save my own bacon.
so even what looks to be on the surface is
because I knew what I had in you. They were going to probably put some clown show in with me after that, probably a football player, because they love football players, and I probably didn't want to do that. So I'd rather have Don, who has the mentality and mind of a football player.
And just so people know, this has got to be like 20 years ago, right? I mean, this is a while ago.
Yeah, 20, maybe 19 years, something like that. And what a great turnaround, because I didn't even want you when they put you in with me.
No, you didn't talk to me.
No.
You had no use for me.
No, I didn't even know you.
But that was the old tell one person one thing, another person another thing.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll work out.
Yeah, that was their management style.
You're going to be the co-host.
They told me and Stephen A. Smith, they went to Stephen and said, you got to work the Friday of Thanksgiving. He goes, I'm not working that day. And they said, well, Kay's working. And he goes, oh. And then they said to me, you got to work the Friday of Thanksgiving. I said, why? He said, well, Stephen A.'s working. How would it look if you don't? So then we both worked, and then Stephen A. said to me, why'd you say you? I said, because you were working. He goes, they lied to both of us.
They worked you.
They worked us. It's worked out for Stephen A.
Peter.
Yeah, no, one of you guys did all right.
Yeah, Stephen A's done great. We'll come back. We'll continue to do great here in the 5 o'clock hour right here on Yes and 880 ESPN.